Honestly, I don't even know really where to start, to be honest. Um, so I'm just gonna try something new, go for it, come out here in a beautiful park, and I don't know, make videos, talk to myself, talk about what's on my mind, talk about anything really. Um, so yeah, welcome to whatever this is gonna be. Uh, it's funny, I draw a lot of inspiration from the Zerky show. I mean, you could probably tell off rip from the setup, from the mic, from being in beautiful nature and having a very dramatic backdrop. Um, but I really like his videos, and I really like how they're just pure, they're natural. It's it's not a whole lot going on. It's just him talking about whatever he wants to talk about, whatever's on his mind, and just keeping it at that. Um, and a lot of different people do it. It's not just him. But I thought to myself, why not give a crack at it? I could do it. I've filmed things before, and I've uh, edited videos, and I have the equipment, and there's things on my mind I want to share or talk about. So why not? I don't think it's exclusive to only him or anyone else that makes these type of videos. So I'm gonna do it, do it just like them. You know what I mean? Um, but I say all that in the beginning just because this is new. This is my first video, and kind of just want to get that out the way. Not really much for me to say with that, but I just have a list, an assortment of different things I want to talk about, and we're not going to talk about it all today, but um, I think the biggest thing on my list that I've been itching to talk about, just itching, because it's something I've dealt with and thought about a lot in the past about year, 2 years, um, and that there's never a point, at least in my 23 years of life so far, there's never a point where you're just done. You've just made it. There's never something, there's like when you get to the end of the road or you finally achieve a goal, you finally uh, reach the point you're trying to reach, life doesn't just end and the game isn't over in a good way. Like you don't complete the game. Like all your problems aren't solved, right? Another way I like to put it is like there's no big breakthrough. Like there's never a moment where you're just like, I've made it. Like all the problems I'm dealing with are gone. That just doesn't happen, right? And that's something you learn the hard way. You learn that over time, and you realize in those moments that it's like, dang, I thought this was supposed to help me. I thought this was supposed to solve whatever anguish, mental anguish, physical anguish, whatever I was going through in that moment. I thought this was going to solve it all, right? For example, the last 6 or 7 years, I've been on a journey of sorts, I guess you could say. I've dedicated a lot of my time, a lot of my mental capacity to chasing a dream, which is great. Chase your dreams. No matter what it is, you should always go after it, right? But along the way, you're going to face hardships, you're going to run into adversity, and you're going to deal with things that aren't even related to your dream, right? You're going to run into problems that have nothing to do with what you're chasing. Um, but in your mind, you're like, okay, if I just grind, if I just go, if I just keep at it, and I finally get to the point that I'm trying to get to, everything that I'm dealing with, it won't matter. It'll be, it'll be null, right? I think I was a victim to that thought, where I thought if I just achieved what I was trying to achieve, I wouldn't feel depressed anymore. I wouldn't feel lost. I'd stop comparing myself to others in their journey because I finally did what I was set out to do. And when that time came where I achieved what I wanted to achieve, guess what? Kept on rolling. The same things that you deal with, the same problems you deal with, they don't just magically go away once you achieve what you're trying to achieve. And so, as I was saying, the last 6 or 7 years, I've really devoted my time uh, to the sport of football, right? I wanted to play college football. More specifically, I wanted to play Division One college football. And my journey at first didn't really take me there, right? I had to go to a prep school. I had to try and walk on somewhere. It fall through. Then I went to a Division Three. I had to change positions. I went from quarterback to defensive back, and all in the pursuit to just play the sport, right? I just wanted to play the sport at that level, I guess. So from about 2021 till 2024, I didn't play a lick of meaningful football. And I didn't even play that much in high school either. So I was on this journey, I was on this chase to just get that. I was like, I need to play, I need to play. I owe it to myself to play, which I don't think is a horrible thought, right? You know, it kept me motivated, kept me disciplined. But along that way, a lot of things that there was a lot of things that I didn't work through or cope that were outside of the sport, outside of this pursuit that I thought would just go away once I finally got what I wanted. Um, and then the time came in 2024 where I finally was able to play. I got to start. I played well, and it was that. Like it wasn't. There was nothing that just changed in me. Like I was still me. The only difference is now the work that I had just put in the last however many years paid off in that regard, right? Um, but I still woke up with the same battles that I was facing the day before the first game I got to play in however many years, right? So I played that season. I played 2025, and after my time there at a Division Three school, I was able to transfer and end up at a Division One school where I'm at now. And high school me would have been like, "Yo, I did it! Like, I can't like, wow, finally got Division One. I'm here. Like, man, like life must be great. You know what I mean? Like, we must have been made. We must have made it." And it's so funny how the time came to commit here and be here, and when it happened, it went like this. Like obviously, I felt excited. I felt thankful. I felt a sense of relief that I had done this. That the goal I set for myself 6 years ago finally came true. Like, don't get me wrong. I absolutely felt a sense of pride and accomplishment. But the next day, I woke up and it's this. I'm dealing with the same things that I've dealt with outside of the pursuit, right? So there's never just a moment where I'm like, or where I guess anyone in general, you get to and you're like, this will solve all things, right? Someone grinding for a lot of money, you get a lot of money, doesn't really solve the problems you got in your life. It may even add problems, right? I want a bunch of cars. I want a bigger house. I want to move to a better place, right? There's not one moment where you're just going to break through and finally um, have a sense of just relief of everything. It's just not the case. And, there are plenty of people out there smarter than me that probably already knew that. But myself, I had to actually go through this whole journey thinking that once I get there, I'll be good. And I had to go through that to learn that that's just not true at all, right? It's just not true. So I say all that to basically tell you guys that I'm learning and have been, I guess, for the past year or so, 2 years, since I've realized that getting what you've chased doesn't solve all your problems. I've started to learn that there is no breakthrough. There is no singular moment that solves all your issues, and that you have to find time outside of your pursuit to work through everything that you're dealing with, whether that's mental or physical or socially, financially, whatever the case is. There's never one big moment in life that just solves all your problems. Um, and more times than not, right? At least for me, I finally got what I was looking for, right? I got what I was chasing. And I don't even really look that fondly back on those moments where got what I wanted, you know? I honestly have more connection to all those nights, all those days, all those weeks, months, years that I struggled and stayed consistent on this path um, to get where I wanted. I look more fondly on those moments than I do the moments I actually got what I wanted, right? I look back and I'm more like, wow, like I remember the times that I was struggling with this and trying to, you know, get to this point, but I never really look back on 5, 6 months ago where I finally committed. I finally made a D1, right? Finally got to where I wanted to. I don't really look back and, yo, just see a massive beaver. That's sick. I don't think I've ever seen a beaver that close. He just went in the brush. Maybe if he's still crawling around after I record this, I can show y'all. But dang, he was massive. That's a big dude. He must be eating well. Uh, Geez, that just threw off. Oh, there he goes. Yo, I'll try and find him after this if he's still crawling around. Um, just made me lose all track of what I was saying. Oh, right. Uh, I don't even look back to December to be like, wow, like I remember that time where I finally committed and I finally got the Division One offer, or I finally did like so. Like I don't really think about that. I don't really think about the time I finally got on the field. I finally got to play. Like, yeah, maybe that's because I was expecting it to happen. Maybe it's because it doesn't really. It's just another day, and then not to minimize my feats or anything, um, but it is really just another day. Like you just go on and you keep living. Like so, yeah. I mean, this is not some profound thought. This is not some super deep philosophical thing that I'm saying here. But I know for me, at least, I wish I would have known that going in, and maybe I would have spent more time finding myself outside of this pursuit, or truly taking time to work through the things I'm feeling instead of just hoping and relying that once I get what I want, it just solves all of that. Uh, so now, these last 2 years, I've sort of been playing catch up with that, where I'm trying to find myself outside of this pursuit. And I'm trying to deal with certain mindsets and certain behaviors that I've been struggling to break free from. and it's been good, you know, and it's honestly helped a lot, especially with my pursuit. Like, I get to step away from this chase that I'm on and get to use my energy and whatnot elsewhere to just help myself become a more complete person, a more whole human. And, no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. And we all make mistakes. We all trip over our own feet. We all make good decisions, bad decisions, wrong decisions, right decisions. Um, but we got to be patient with ourselves. We got to acknowledge when we're putting too much into a pursuit and disregarding ourselves in the hopes that what we get out of it will patch up and stitch up and solve anything that we're dealing with. And that's just not the case. So, I think I've gotten my point across. Uh, this is my first video, so bear with me if I'm stumbling over my words here or losing my train of thought. This is the whole part of it, right? I'm not gonna edit any of this out because this is the natural process of what I'm trying to do, right? I'm not trying to be perfect. Like I just said, like no one's perfect. So why would I sit here and act like I just know exactly what I'm doing? I just know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm really just talking and just saying what's on my mind and, something that I've thought about a lot, right? Something that's very relatable to me right now. Relatable is not the word. I'm looking for a different word. I don't want to sit here and make you guys wait. Um, yeah, if I find the word, if I think of the word, maybe I'll put it on the screen, maybe I won't. Who knows, right? It's not supposed to be that deep. But yeah, to be back on track and to wrap it up, I just want everyone. Oop, bug. Excuse me, brother. Can't have you crawling on me, itching me. Um, I just want other people to know and understand that, damn, brother, he is just chilling on my finger. Bro, you gotta go, man. Sorry, man. All right, bet. Um, just want everyone to know, or anyone that is hoping that once they get what they want, all things will be resolved. You won't have to stress about anything. You won't have to worry about your problems. Like anyone that's kind of in that mindset, I hope sees this video and recognizes that that's just not the case. And that's okay. As long as you acknowledge that and take time to actually work through what you have going on, alongside of chasing a dream, you should be all right. Don't neglect yourself in the hopes of don't neglect yourself in the hopes of covering it all up with success when all of that can be washed away in an instance. Success and the mountaintop can be taken from under you in seconds, and you're right back where you were beforehand. So before that happens, let's build a strong foundation and really, really find time to work through what we're dealing with, so that when we achieve what we want to achieve, there is a sense of relief, but there isn't a sense of like, damn, this is it. You can enjoy your feat without having disappointment lingering, or yeah, I guess disappointment would be the right word there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I don't know when the next video will be. hopefully soon, because I want to stay consistent with this. But yeah, man, just keep going and whatever you're going, but make sure you find time for yourself. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one, man.